Travis, my good soul. So, Trevor Noah's episode, his countdown episodes till when he quits, was about a Guardian article in which the reporter, journalist, was interviewing some rich billionaires, and they took him to their bunker in preparation for the end of the world. And I was obviously thinking, well, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're filthy rich. They're multi-billionaires, if not trillionaires, in secret. And was hearing what the billionaires' mentality was, and realizing that, yeah, the church is a part of this, as all of the filthy rich are a part of causing the problems that are leading to Armageddon and the destruction of Earth. And so I can see them, why they're wanting to preserve their property, possessions, and their lives as they continue to let the rest of the world get destroyed. And Joseph Smith warned of this in his Joseph Smith history, as Nephi visits him in that vision number 2, and that's in verse 40 is where the subject matter begins. As prior to, he's talking about how he's naked underneath his sheer robe, but he talks about the Egyptian gold plates, which is a coded message for anybody who knows about the York rites with the Knights Templar. But it also talks about the end of the world. And so, yeah, Joseph then gets into that after that, quoting from Malachi, "Day cometh that shall burn as an oven," and then added in the part about Elijah, the sentence, "If it were not so, the whole earth would be utterly wasted at his coming." And that's what you're supposed to learn when you go to Acts, because in verse 40 he said, it quotes from Acts, when he's supposed to be quoting all Old Testament prophecies, because remember, Jewish, not Christian. And so it's important to not confuse people with the Christian cultural appropriation of the Jewish literature, and stick with the Old Testament prophecies from which the New Testament prophecies came from, and then they came from Egyptian. But and so Acts is singled out as being from the New Testament, which refers to the Old Testament prophecy from Deuteronomy 18:15 through 18, and it's because of the wording in Acts in the King James Version, which is utterly destroyed rather than utterly wasted. And yet Joseph says it's cut off. And so he's purposely leading us to study our scriptures to learn of what's coming. And so next year is the bicentennial year of the day that shall burn as an oven. And when I first posted videos about the day that shall burn as an oven last year, I started getting attacked in retaliation, and that's letting me know that, yeah, I'm onto something here. Something is up with what I'm researching, and sure enough, I'm now finding out as we passed the Jewish and the regular 9/11s, or 9/22s, 7/22s technically, because September is the Latin word for the 7th month. But because of a pope changing our calendar, we now have the 9th month. So 9/11 plays a prominent role in the church and in American history. And so yeah, it's Joseph Smith with 922, 4 times repeated twice, with his little story here that he's telling us. He's giving us coded dates, and I figured it out, and the church was pissed. And so what are we looking at? We're looking at climate change. We're looking at a never-ending virus because nobody wanted to follow the medical professionals. They warned us in the beginning, if you want to get rid of this, you have to do what we tell you to do. And nobody did. And now we're in a roller coaster cycle of the virus. As last week, it went up a little bit, but we'll just have to keep watching. But yeah, and violence. We've got a civil war, and with election fraud. This is what the Danites did in America in the Daviess County election in Missouri. They attempted a coup and framed Joseph Smith for it. Got him in Liberty Jail. And yeah, then Nelson took on that theme to threaten me over the pulpit of conference that he's got plans for me. And here I am. And then this year he does it again, as he is now saying in the coming days, Jesus is coming, which is tied to the end of the world, the destruction. And so, yeah, he's now threatened my life in this particular instance. And so whether it's collectively with the rest of you, that they hope that I die among the rubble with you guys, or they've got something special just for me, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, my videos on sex trafficking is really pissing them off. As the Mormon employee, I'm now catching them. I know your schedule, and I know your operation that you've got going on. But yeah, he's helping to silence me right at the time when you guys need to be hearkening to me. So that's the danger we all face. The Book of Mormon likewise prophesied of this. As we get to the election fraud of Jacob, who does fail and has to flee the country, then you have the natural disasters that occur, climate change. And after the natural disasters, there's the 3 days of darkness, the sign of the death in the sky, and Jesus. He's real, Travis. Screw you. We're Christian, not Jewish. Such hate. And yeah, all of those are the story versions of the sign in the heavens that have already been given to us. In this particular instance, it's the 3rd day of darkness given in Revelation chapter 19. The angel standing in the sun in Pisces on the back of the white horse. Where the death sign part of it is where Jupiter, who was the son born in Revelation chapter 12, 1, 2, and 5. The Joseph Smith translation puts it in verse 3 to make it part of the sign. The Book of Mormon, likewise, in the very beginning, 1 Nephi chapter 1, there it is. And so the Book of Mormon is actually telling us of the latter days and what we should expect and plan and prepare for. If not try to stop, like Captain Moroni. Where were you, Mormons? Oh, you went to destroy the Constitution. Oops. And put the kingmen in power. Yeah, that's what the Captain Moroni story was all about. And Mormons instead are getting arrested for participating. government's refusing to. So, I could write a book on all of this. I'll do that in retirement in Zion if we ever get there and build it. So it's not likely to happen, is it? Because you missed the Exodus in 2020 also. Because we were supposed to leave the church in 2020 so that the remaining Mormons are the ones who are going to the Capitol to coup it. We were going to go there to save it. You sort of blew it. You let down America and the Constitution. So, that's what we got coming. Is since you missed the Exodus, we have the midterm election fraud that's already in progress, and apparently we will hold Congress. So that MAGA will then continue to be investigated, locked up. Trump, the church, get locked up. And then comes the climate change disasters that destroy the United States. And from the ruins, we will be forced to leave. And then by next harvest, an expected day that shall burn as an oven. When we are weak from all the destruction and political chaos and ruin and civil war that emerges. So, yay. It's a wonderful life, isn't it? By the silvery moon. That was the best scene in the whole movie, when you go all the way to where he then gets, George, your father's in the hospital. Come quick. So he hands her back her robe.